Welcome to the CP26 Lunch Learn Series. I'm Corey, and I'm really pleased that you're joining me. Today, something that's important to all of us, resumes. A resume is you on paper. It may be the first time you are meeting with a potential employer, or it may go to someone who already knows you and your qualifications. Consider it your 15 seconds of fame or infamy. So let's talk about some guidelines on writing an effective resume. First, make sure your name, phone number, email address, and address are on the upper left of every page of your resume. Consider the length. Try to keep it to no more than 3.5 pages. 1 to 2 pages is ideal. For instance, the CP26 Proponency Office once came across a 22-page resume. Could you imagine asking that person a question? You'd never be able to get him out of your office. Let's get to the content of your resume. Obviously, you will need to include your work experience. Be accurate and be honest. Make sure you represent your accomplishments, but watch the exaggeration. For example, you could be interviewed by someone who knows that you didn't do all of that project you said you did. Make sure you use the correct verb tenses. Be careful to not overuse words and watch using superlatives when describing your qualifications. Show positions in chronological order. Start with your most recent and work backwards from there. Use action verbs and be sure to show your accomplishments and quantify them if possible. One big no-no is cutting and pasting from the job announcement or even from the position description. While it is a clever way to get through the personnel filters, it shows no creativity, and let's be honest, it's not right. Pay attention to any gaps or inconsistent dates. This shows no attention to detail. If there are gaps in your work experience, be sure to address them. Things happen in life. We understand that. Took time off to care for a family member? Did you go back to school? Did you PCS with your spouse? Own these gaps. It shows commitment. When listing your supervisor, ensure you're accurate. Yes, in theory, we all work for the Secretary of the Army, but more than likely, he's not your direct supervisor. Name dropping does not sit well with most people. Next, list your education. List your academic credentials chronologically, starting with the most recent and work backwards from there. Show your degree, both your major and, if you have one, your minor. The academic institution, the year you were awarded your degree, and any special recognition you received, such as honors or publications. And if you have graduated within the past 5 years, include your GPA. Do not list your high school unless you graduated within the last 5 years. So now you have listed your work experience and education. You want to include your list of training on your resume. The training section needs to tell the story of how the training has supported your professional growth. Again, start with your most recent and work backwards. Be sure to identify the technical or professional training that relates to the position you are applying for. And list the year you completed your training, followed by the course title and then the school. Make sure all training is listed chronologically, starting with the most recent. Listing awards is okay in small doses, but make sure they are relevant to your work experience. Here are a couple of things the CP26 Proponency Office believes are big no-nos. Do not write your resume in third person. This raises a lot of questions, such as, who wrote your resume? Are you submitting a resume or a biography? Be careful about including quotes from supervisors and senior leaders about your performance. What happens if the selecting official does not have a positive opinion of the supervisor or senior leader? This can also reflect your need for an ego boost. This is not the impression you should be making. Finally, let's talk about the details. Spelling, grammar, and punctuation mistakes are never acceptable. Use spell check, and don't use undefined acronyms. Extensive job hopping or lingering in one place. Are you shopping around or being shopped around? Be sure to apply your training to your current position and make sure it has relevancy for your career. Are you repeating duties from one position to the next without demonstrating any appreciable professional or technical growth? So, you're probably thinking, what should my resume look like? Well, here are some basics. white bond paper. Set your margins at 1 inch. Keep the font in Arial or Times New Roman. Keep your font between 14 and 16 for your name and headings. And keep it between 11 to 12 for bullet points. Make sure your headings are evenly spaced, your bullet format is consistent, and your pages are numbered. Remember, attention to detail is key for your resume. Here are just a few quick pointers that can help you create an awesome resume that will help you be ready for that next opportunity. Be sure to log in to the CP26 Army Career Tracker page and check out the resume's reference sheet. OPM.gov also has some great tools. If you have any questions, please contact the CP26 Proponency Office via email, Facebook, or Army Career Tracker. And until next time, have a great Army Day.